The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. Picture this moment. You've just experienced the pinnacle of your professional life. After years of relentless effort, of pouring everything you have into your work, you've finally broken through. You've closed the deal, made the sale, achieved what once seemed impossible. You walk through your front door feeling invincible, carrying news that could change everything. You find your partner and announce, "I did it, I just made $1 million." You're expecting celebration, shared joy, a moment of pure connection. Instead, she glances at you with an unreadable expression and asks, "That's nice. Did you remember to pick up the milk on the way home?" In that instant, a man might feel completely blindsided, confused, frustrated, maybe even angry. He might wonder, how can she not understand what this means? How can she possibly be thinking about milk right now? But here's the mind-bending part. What if her question had nothing to do with milk? What if that simple, seemingly mundane question was actually a profound test of who you really are? A test you were either passing or failing in that very moment. Welcome to the world we're exploring today. A world examined with raw honesty in David Deida's modern classic, The Way of the Superior Man. This isn't just another self-help book. For countless readers, it's become a blueprint for an entirely different approach to living. Published in 1997, it's grown into an underground phenomenon, a guide for men and the women who love them, who sense that something essential has gone missing in our modern world. Deida identified a crisis. He observed men trapped between two unsatisfying extremes: the aggressive, emotionally closed, macho jerk of previous generations, and the overly agreeable, nice guy who's lost his backbone and his direction. He witnessed relationships where the spark had died, replaced by comfortable but passionless partnerships. He posed a challenging question: where are the men who can combine unwavering purpose with a genuinely open heart? That question led to this book. It's a manual for a different kind of man, one who is purposeful and decisive, yet emotionally available and spiritually awake, one who embraces his power without apology and his heart without shame. Today, we're diving deep into the core teachings of this transformative book. By the time we're done, you'll understand the hidden interplay of masculine and feminine energies that shapes not just relationships but everything in life. You'll discover why your life's mission must take precedence over everything else, and how that controversial choice actually unlocks the deepest intimacy you've ever experienced. And you'll learn how to live with an open heart, even when it's painful, and discover the freedom waiting on the other side of your deepest fears. This isn't just a summary. It's an invitation to reconnect with the most authentic version of yourself. Let's begin with a fundamental mistake nearly every man makes. It's a quiet assumption, an unexamined belief, the myth of someday. We tell ourselves, when I finally have enough money, I'll relax and pursue what I really love. Or, when the kids are grown, my life will truly begin. Or, perhaps, when my partner finally gets me, all the tension will disappear. We spend our lives waiting for an arrival point, a moment when everything finally clicks into place. But David Deida opens with a stark and strangely liberating truth. That moment never arrives. Life never gets finished. As long as you're breathing, challenges will keep coming. The world and your relationships will continuously throw unexpected curveballs and beautiful chaos your way. The masculine mistake is treating life like a problem with a solution. It's not. It's an ocean to navigate, a dance to participate in, a gift to give. So he issues a challenge right from page 1. Stop waiting. Whatever you've been postponing until life gets sorted out, start it now. Dedicate at least 1 hour every single day to it. Don't let your responsibilities become excuses for not actually living. Most of the time, our delays are just covers for a lack of discipline. The men who create meaningful lives are the ones who never waited for permission, security, or perfect timing. They offered their gift right in the middle of the storm. Every moment you postpone is a moment lost, and each lost moment slowly erodes your sense of purpose. This leads us to the absolute foundation of Deida's teaching, the pillar supporting everything else, a man's purpose. In the realm of masculine and feminine energy, Deida explains, the masculine core is fundamentally driven by mission. It seeks freedom. It wants to break through limitations, accomplish goals, overcome obstacles, and experience the release that follows. This explains why men are often drawn to sports. A football game is basically a ritual enactment of mission and freedom. The team has a clear mission: advance the ball to the end zone. They face intense constraint, another team of powerful men determined to stop them. The moment of pure joy happens when a player breaks through, running free into open space, completing the mission. That release is a taste of freedom. The feminine core, by contrast, is driven by the search for love. Its focus isn't the destination, but the quality of connection, the energy flowing in this present moment. Its joy isn't in emptiness, but in fullness. This explains why romantic films and deep conversations about relationships are often forms of feminine pleasure. They're about being filled with love. Here's the crucial distinction. For a man with a masculine essence, even if his relationship and family life overflow with love, his core will feel hollow unless he's living his deepest purpose. For a woman with a feminine essence, her career might be wildly successful, but her core won't feel satisfied unless love is flowing in her intimate life. This creates what Deida calls the fundamental asymmetry in relationships. Your mission is your priority. Her priority is the flow of love. If you don't grasp this, you'll be perpetually confused. A man needs to admit something potentially uncomfortable. If forced to choose between a perfect relationship and achieving his highest purpose, he'd choose the purpose. This isn't selfishness, it's honesty. When a man puts his relationship above his purpose, he weakens himself. He becomes directionless, unclear. His presence in the world diminishes, and so does his presence with his woman. She senses his emptiness, his lack of solid ground, and she can't trust him. She might not articulate it, might not even consciously recognize it, but she'll feel it deep down. She wants to sense that you're committed to something larger than her, larger than the relationship itself. She doesn't actually want to be your top priority. She wants to feel that your highest purpose, your mission, your truth, your connection to something transcendent, is your true north. Because when you're anchored to that, she can trust you to navigate life's storms. She can relax into her feminine flow, knowing you're steering the ship. If you make her simultaneously the ship, the anchor, and the destination, you both end up adrift. Your woman will be far more nourished by 30 minutes of your complete, undivided, loving presence. Presence that flows from a man who's fulfilled because he's on his path, than by hours of weak, scattered attention because your heart is secretly somewhere else. So how do you find this purpose if you're not sure what it is? Deida says discovering it is the most urgent task of your life, and it's a process of peeling away layers. The outer layers are often purposes you absorbed from your parents or culture. As you live them fully, they eventually feel empty and boring. This isn't failure, it's growth. When a purpose stops calling to you, you must be willing to release it, enter a phase of not knowing, and wait for a deeper vision to surface. This takes real courage. It might require you to change everything about your life. This path of purpose isn't smooth or comfortable. It demands that you know your edge and consistently lean just beyond it. Your edge is where you stop, where you compromise, where you yield to your fears. A man grows optimally when he's constantly leaning slightly beyond his comfort zone, not so far that he breaks, but far enough that he feels the sharp, persistent presence of fear. In this context, fear isn't the enemy. It's a compass. It shows you exactly where your edge is. Leaning into that fear, befriending it, is where genuine transformation lives. A man who's comfortable and secure is often spiritually asleep. The aliveness you're seeking lies right at the border of your fear. This fearless, purpose-driven existence becomes the foundation for a passionate, thriving relationship. Because once a man has his direction, he can truly meet the feminine. And meeting the feminine, as Deida explains, is its own art form. He offers a perspective that challenges everything. Women are not liars. This might sound strange because to men, women can seem contradictory. She says one thing and does another. She claims she hates you one moment and loves you the next. She insists she doesn't want to see a movie, but when you playfully push, she happily goes. The masculine mind, which values facts and consistency, interprets this as dishonesty. But Deida says we're listening incorrectly. A man's word is his bond. He means what he says. But the feminine speaks a different language. Her words aren't factual statements. They're expressions of what she's feeling right now. Her truth is the flow of her emotions, and that flow changes like weather. When listening to your woman, he suggests, listen as you would to the ocean or wind. Her words are the sound of her energy moving. So when she says, I hate you, in a moment of anger, it's not a final judgment of your character. It's the sound of a storm passing through her. The mistake men make is believing the literal content of her complaints. We hear, you never clean the garage, and we think the issue is the garage. But the garage is almost never the real issue. The real message is usually a feeling of being unloved, or a sense that she can't trust your masculine core. She feels your lack of direction, your broken promises, your ambiguity, and that feeling comes out as a complaint about the garage, the finances, or you watching television. Analyzing her complaint entirely misses the point. Arguing about the facts is a game you can't win. The solution almost never involves fixing the specific problem she mentioned. The solution is re-establishing the flow of love. 90% of her emotional struggles, Deida suggests, stem from feeling unloved. When she's in a dark mood, don't analyze her. Don't bombard her with questions trying to get to the bottom of it. Assume she's not feeling loved, and give her your full, penetrating presence. Look deeply into her eyes. Hold her, touch her, and let her feel your unwavering love. Chances are, the storm passes, and the problem evaporates. This explains why women test men. Her tests, complaints, challenges, shifting moods, aren't meant to torment you. She's testing to feel your freedom and your depth. She's prodding to see if you'll be knocked off center. She wants to feel that your happiness doesn't depend on her approval. She wants to experience you as unshakable. This brings us full circle to the opening story, the man who made $1 million. When his woman asked about the milk, she wasn't dismissing his achievement. She was testing him. She wanted to feel that his sense of wholeness came from his own core, from his purpose, not from external validation or her praise. If he gets angry or deflated, he fails the test. He's revealed that he needs her validation. But if he can laugh, remain full and grounded, and sweep her into his arms with powerful, playful love, he passes. He's demonstrated that his truth remains solid, regardless of her challenge. In that moment, he embodies the divine masculine, and she can finally relax and surrender into his presence, trusting him completely. And here's the secret: it never stops. A woman will always test her man for the pleasure of feeling his strength. The most loving women will test you most intensely because they see your potential and refuse to let you settle for anything less than your most magnificent self. This dynamic requires a man to embrace his shadow side, not the abusive, violent darkness of a wounded man, but the powerful, untamed energy of a warrior of love. Your woman, he says, wants the killer in you. She doesn't want you to actually be violent, but she wants to feel your capacity to be fearless when facing threats. She wants to know that if danger arrives, you'll be the one to meet it, not because you're brutal, but because you're willing to transcend fear for love's sake. This fearlessness is the ultimate masculine gift. When you're unwilling to express your deep, passionate energy in love, to ravish your woman with consuming, all-encompassing desire, that energy goes underground and can morph into disconnected fantasies or general numbness. Ravishment, he clarifies, isn't violation. The difference is love. It's about lovingly overwhelming your woman into surrendering to greater pleasure than she'd allow herself. This naturally leads to sexuality. For Deida, sex is spiritual practice. A man's instinct is to seek release through ejaculation. It's that same masculine drive for freedom from tension. But he argues that excessive ejaculation depletes a man's vital energy. It makes him mediocre. He loses the extra edge required to live at his limit. A superior man learns to transform his orgasm. Instead of a genital release that ends everything, he learns to circulate that energy up his spine, into his brain and heart, creating a full-body experience that rejuvenates him and allows him to continue making love for hours, taking his woman into progressively deeper states of surrender. When a man ejaculates easily, his woman unconsciously feels he can't be trusted. If she can deplete him so easily, so can the world. By mastering his sexual energy, a man demonstrates a mastery she can trust in all areas of life. This is a path of ongoing practice. It involves breathing down the front of your body to stay open and relaxed, rather than tensing against pain or stress. It involves spending time in solitude, or with other men who will challenge your mediocrity. Your purpose is restored through solitude and masculine challenge. Your woman's radiance, by contrast, is restored among other women, in celebration and play. You must create space for both. Ultimately, the way of the superior man is a practice of dissolution. It's about embracing every moment, pain, pleasure, chaos, beauty, as a lover. It's about loving so completely, giving your gift so fully, that you forget to protect yourself. You feel through your woman, you feel through the world, and you let the force of your love carry you into the infinite freedom that was always your true nature. Fear is the final excuse. The superior man doesn't fight it, he loves straight through it. As we wrap up, it's obvious that the way of the superior man isn't designed to comfort, it's meant to provoke. It challenges nearly every modern assumption about relationships, gender, and purpose. And that's precisely why it remains so powerful. In a world that often feels lost, where traditional models have dissolved, leaving many people uncertain, David Deida offers a compass. It may not point where everyone wants to go, but it points somewhere clear and strong. The most powerful, and probably most controversial teaching is the unapologetic claim that a man's purpose must come before his relationship. In contemporary culture, this can sound harsh. We're taught that our partner should be our everything, that we should find our completion in them. Deida flips this completely. He argues that a man who makes a woman his purpose places an impossible weight on her, and, in doing so, loses the very quality she was drawn to, his solid, directed, masculine essence. By committing to a higher mission, he becomes a more present, powerful, and loving partner. He offers her his fullness, not his emptiness. This is radical, but for anyone who's watched passion slowly drain from a relationship, it provides a compelling explanation. The book is essentially a study in polarity. It reminds us that attraction isn't born from sameness, but from difference. The magnetic pull between people, that electric, alive, sometimes frustrating energy, comes from the interplay between masculine and feminine poles. Deida's work calls us to amplify that polarity, not flatten it. It asks us to celebrate these differences, play with them, and use them as fuel for both passion and growth. So how can you start applying these powerful ideas in your actual life? Starting right now. Here are 3 simple practices. First, reclaim 1 hour. Just one. Think about that thing you keep telling yourself you'll do someday. The thing connected to your deepest truth, your real gift. Maybe it's writing, launching a business, learning an instrument, or simply being in nature. Deida's first challenge is the most practical. For the next week, dedicate 1 uninterrupted hour each day to that purpose. Don't wait for life to settle down. Offer your gift now, amid the chaos. Notice how it shifts everything. Second, practice presence over problem solving. The next time you're in a tense moment with someone you love, and they're expressing a complaint or difficult emotion, resist the urge to fix it. Resist the temptation to debate facts. Instead, for just 2 minutes, do nothing except offer your full, silent, loving presence. Breathe deeply. Relax the front of your body. Look into their eyes. Don't try to solve the problem with logic. Try to dissolve it with your heart. This isn't passivity. It's wielding the power of unwavering presence. And third, lean into your edge. Sometime today you'll feel fear, maybe small fear, the fear of speaking honestly, making a difficult call, or being vulnerable. When you feel it, recognize it as your edge. Then, just for a moment, lean slightly beyond it. Take 1 small step into the discomfort. This isn't about recklessness. It's about the constant, gentle practice of expanding your capacity for living. That was a summary of The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. We've explored the core ideas today, but here's the truth. A summary is like viewing a photograph of the Grand Canyon. It shows you the shape and colors, but it can't convey the feeling of standing on the edge, feeling the wind, sensing the immense, silent power. The real magic of this book is in how its words land in your particular life at exactly the right moment. This summary is a map designed to help you decide if this is a journey worth taking. If anything we've discussed today has sparked something in you, if it felt challenging or true, then I encourage you to get the actual book. Reading it isn't just about information. It's an experience that can fundamentally shift how you see yourself, your relationships, and your place in the world. The link to the book is in the description. Also, if you found this summary valuable and you're ready to explore more transformative books, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us know we're creating value and ensures you won't miss our next deep dive. Let's keep growing together.